It's a different world and where I come from. But I'm here with y'all, so I gotta do the work too, you hear me? How everybody doing? How everybody doing? How is everybody doing? You hear me? How's everybody doing? Oseo to my enemies, shalom to my Hebrews, salam to my Muslims, you hear me? Hello to everybody else, you know. How everybody doing, man? Huh? Because it's a beautiful time to be alive, you hear me? It's a beautiful time to be alive. And if you're alive, you should be learning something. You hear me? Hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all. Radiating, operating, vibrating, emanating, being the highest demonstration of your better version. You hear me? As for me, I'm doing the same. Stillness, abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness. Stillness, abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness to everybody who come across this message. You hear me? Salute to the Cosmic Consciousness family and soul tribe, including the peekaboos and passerbys. You hear me? Yeah, it's a beautiful time to be alive, man. And it's a lesson in living. Meaning, it's something to learn from every day. You know. Positive, negative, or indifferent. You know, it's something in it. It's something in it for us, for those who want it. You heard? It's something in it for those who want it. Damn, I ain't even got my sage this, but that's all right. I'm a purify the vibration with my presence. You hear me? But I hope everybody feeling good. I came through the drop one, cause if I waited any later, I'll probably be knocked out. So I had to go in and get myself together so I could come through and drop one for us. You hear me? It's awesome. It's awesome to have the opportunity to come in this realm that we call Earth and have an experience as a human being. You know, regardless of what we feel about the things that we go through. It's an awesome privilege. It's an awesome opportunity. It's an awesome blessing to be able to come here and go through this thing called life as a human. You know, spiritual beings having a human experience. That's an awesome thing. And I don't think we give just that opportunity, you know, enough credit. You know, I could be wrong. It's just my opinion now. You know, so don't try to come at the message. It's just my opinions. You hear me? And it may not hit everybody the same, but it's an awesome privilege, man, to be able to come here and experience this thing called life in human form, you know, and tap into our spiritual self. You hear me? I say that because by learning from those that we come here through, those before us that allowed us to be here, because nobody do it by themselves. It took two people for you to be here. If you on the other side of this message listening to me, it took two people for you to get here, a man and a woman. You hear me? So you ain't do nothing by yourself, just like I didn't. You hear me? And for my offspring to get here, I ain't do it by myself. It took me and a woman. You hear me? So forth and so on. So I'm grateful for that. You hear me? And I'm grateful for all the experiences that come with, you know, having this opportunity to be in the flesh. You hear me? But by learning from those we come here through, and then having the opportunity to learn from the world around us, you know, according to the people in it, and then we have different interactions with and experiences with, you know, I've had the opportunity to learn so much from watching and just observing. You hear me? Because in watching and observing, it gave me the opportunity, just like y'all, but y'all probably didn't realize it to the point that I'm about to make it known to you. You know, just by watching and observing, it also give us the opportunity to observe ourselves, you know, from the outside in, then give us the opportunity to observe ourselves from the inside out. But by learning from those that we come through and then had the opportunity to learn from the world around us, I've learned so much watching and observing, you know, and observing myself from the inside out and then from the outside in. I know I said it different just a minute ago, but that was on purpose, you know, from the inside out and then from the outside in, because it's a different world and where I come from, and that's why I hit different, you hear me? But yeah, myself from the inside out and then from the outside in, which made me aware of my own depth and my own meaning. And through that process, I taught myself how to glow in the dark, even when the light's on, you hear me? Even when the light's on. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But I say that to say, without giving my inner gold away, and yet be able to share it at the same time. And that's why I'm here, you hear me? So regardless of how I'm seen, regardless of how I'm viewed, regardless of how people may feel about me, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their own projections, you hear me? And that's what we're going to talk about today. You hear it? Because projections is just as common or it's just as trending as opinions. You hear me? Why? Because unknown to most, projection is a psychological fact that can be observed everywhere and anywhere in the everyday life of human beings, whether it's positive, negative, or indifference. And in the observation of that, through the observation of myself, I realized that results to me being able to say that projection is and can be a powerful tool or a weapon, depending on how it's used. Depending on how it's used. And sometimes projections come in the form of judgment. Sometimes projections just come in the form of opinions. You hear me? And sometimes projections just come in the form of projections. But otherwise, projection is just projection, and a word used to describe a cause, or either a cause or an effect, or a mode of operation by the observer or about the observer. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. So I'm going to repeat that. Projection can be a powerful tool or a weapon, depending on how it's used. Otherwise, projection is just that, a projection. And a word used to describe a cause or an effect, you know, or a mode of operation about the observer or by the observer. Which one are you? You hear me? And when we really embrace what that really means, when we really embrace what that really show us, what it really say about us as individuals, as well as a collective, or as individuals part of a collective, you know, it inspires self-improvement. It empowers self-improvement. It encourages self-improvement, and it motivates self-improvement for those who have a will to do that. You hear me? To self-improve, because you see where it could be a use and where it has no use. I say that to ask this: you ever had a first impression of someone that turned out to be wrong? Have you ever had a first impression about someone that turned out to be wrong? At least in your ideas of other people. Or in your ideas of other people, have you ever made misjudgments that you later on may have had to correct after you got the 411? You ever been having a conversation and someone told you are projecting? Have you ever been in a conversation and someone told you that you are projecting? What did it say about you? Or what did it say about them? I ask that because sometimes some people take note of it or acknowledge it, the error, if we want to call it that, or the mistake, if we want to call it that, and let the matter drop. But how many of us confront ourselves about where the false judgment or incorrect idea came from in the first place? How much do you know who you really are? In other words, do you ever concern yourself with correcting your misjudgments? Do you ever concern yourself or correcting your misjudgments? Have you ever checked yourself about your misjudgments? Because we all don't make them. If we not still making them, you hear me? Even right now in this moment that I'm presenting these words that I'm presenting through the message that I'm speaking, you hear me? Somebody gonna come along, you hear me? How much do you really know who you really are? Do you ever concern yourself with correcting your misjudgments? And I ask that because many, if not most humans, will hold on to false narratives, you know, because to accept correction sometimes leave us with another issue to deal with, another issue to face about and within ourselves. And sometimes it's easier to judge the people in the world than to judge the world within ourselves. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. Am I correct? Put an amen in the comment section if it's talking to you. You hear me? Which is just another reason why self-work, which is just another reason why shadow work, which is just another reason why self-improvement is so important. Right here, right now, wherever you are. See, no matter how trending everyone, no matter how trending it is, everyone not doing it, including those that may be promoting it or advertising it to you. Trust me. Trust me. And I love to have the opportunity, you know, to talk with a lot of them. You hear me? But you can fact check that. If you know, you see. And if you see, you feel. You know, it's called psychological projection, which is where a person prescribes their own motivations, which is where a person prescribes their own thoughts, which is where a person prescribes their own feelings and desires that are unacceptable to them and proclaim it upon others. That's what projection is. In layman terms, that's them. It's always somebody else's fault. People, it's them. It's always somebody else's fault. People, you know, and it's an unconscious mechanism that we could benefit from by being more conscious of it. You know, I am a pupil of psychology as well as philosophy. You see, so a lot of things I say coming from a lot of places. You know, I'm familiar with the anger management programs and a whole bunch of stuff. So I come from a lot of places, you know, in this work because I had to do the work. You hear me? But that's them. It's always somebody else's fault, people. You know, it ain't never them. You hear me? And as I said, it's an unconscious mechanism. I know because I've been there. That's why I'm gonna speak to it the way that I do. Somebody gotta stir the pot so the food don't stick. You hear me? But yeah, we all could benefit from it by being more conscious of it. And we all know one, or we are one. Which one are you? Fact check it. You hear me? But it's a misalignment of the inner and outer world because what we are inwardly and internally, we will see outwardly and external. You know, stay with me. What we are inwardly and internally, we will see externally and outwardly. You hear me? No matter what you experience or no matter what you have experienced or what you are experiencing. So your self-awareness is important. Back to how much do you really know who you are? Because your self-awareness is important to adjust certain defense barriers. You know, when we see things that's untasteful in ourselves that we refuse to acknowledge, but know that it's there. And then see someone else with those same untasteful characteristics or those same untasteful traits and have a problem with them about it. We quick to feel resentment, anger, and even hate, toward them because they displaying something about themselves that we may carry within ourselves. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. But how much do you really know who you are? Do you ever concern yourself with correcting your own misjudgments? You hear me? See, projection don't occur. I said all that to say this. Projection don't occur because what other people do, what other people say, or how other people act. Projection only occur because what we think about other people. You hear me? That's saying something about us. I'm going to leave y'all with that. You hear me? Persistence, commitment, and dedication. You hear me? That's what this self-work about. And if you can apply persistence, commitment, and dedication to yourself, because it ain't about nobody else, you hear me? Then I bet you won't be the topic of discussion that you used to be. You heard? With that, feel good for no reason at all. Stillness, abundant love, like health and wholeness to the common conscious family and soul tribe. You hear me? Every day, find something to work on. Command change over your life. Affirmations, all that. Meditation. Not none of it. Because I don't apply most of it, if not all of it. You hear me? They get me from point A to this point right here. You heard? And as I said in the beginning, life is a beautiful thing. Every day it holds lessons. Good, bad, or indifferent. You hear me? But it's what we do with them that's gonna make it all count. You heard? So till we do it again, thanks for the likes, shares, comments, questions. Appreciate the love offerings. Appreciate the purchases. You hear me? Y'all rock with me. I know we going in the spring and the weather about to change, but I got that merch. But yeah, my information in the description. Rock with me. And until we do it again, I'm known as Sawu. Be you how you be you. I love y'all. Salute to the Common Conscious family and soul tribe once again. Salute to the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. You hear me? We go in over here, deep inside work. You hear me? Don't be tricked by imitators. You heard? I'm a one-on-one. You hear me? Just like you. And if you stand in that, you hear me? If you stand in that, you will stand out. Keep showing up how you show up for yourself. I appreciate y'all until we do it again. Be you how you be you. Peace, family.